voting rank. So, Mr. Gachagua, is it your belief today that the people who vote for a particular leader should be first in line for development projects, and the ones who don't vote for them do not get anything or get the scraps?
I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that. I believe that
that's what you're saying in that clip.
Far from it. You are not interpreting the context. They were talking about placements, and I was saying, please, things are still being worked out. Relax. We know you. We know where you are.
So is placement based on those that vote?
Not necessarily.
Because it's the same thing you said. You asked for specific ministries. Welcome back to The Explainer. We're glad you are still with us. And keep your comments coming in, by the way. The hashtag is The Explainer, at Citizen TV Kenya, at Yvonne Okwara on the X platform. I want us to get into some issues of the state of the nation, but you, Mr. Gachagua, wanted to address the issue of the people of Mandera and the Al-Shabaab allegation? Yeah,
I want to put it very clearly that after I asked William Ruto to explain about the alleged meeting he did in Mandera with Al-Shabaab, some leaders in that area, the governor, the senator, and some MPs, were accusing me of having called the people of Mandera terrorists. Let me say very clearly, the people of Mandera are very innocent, and they have nothing to do with these accusations. The accusations are against William Ruto, not the people of Mandera. The fact that the meeting is alleged to have taken place in Mandera does not make the people of Mandera party to any such meeting. And I have seen a concerted effort to try to draw a wedge between me and the people of Mandera and the people of northeastern Kenya. And let me take this opportunity to say that I have tremendous respect for that community. Those are very honorable people. And myself, I do business with people of the Somali community. And indeed, Yvonne, one day if you want to do business, the Somali people are very good people to do business with. Their word is like a banker's check. You don't even require a written agreement. I do business with them. Where I come from in the mountain, we live with the Somali people. In fact, in a place called Nyanyuki, that is Laikipia East constituency, the Kikuyu nation there elected a Somali as member of parliament when they are only 3% of the population. Here in Kamukoji in Nairobi, the Honorable Hassan has been elected by the Mount Kenya people for more than 3 times. We have a very good working relationship with the people of northeastern Kenya, and I don't want leaders who have an issue with me as they try to defend William Ruto to drag in the people of Mandera. Okay. The people of Mandera have nothing to do with this thing. Those are good people. In fact, they have borne the brunt of attacks for many years. And even as we speak today, half of Mandela is occupied by forces from Jubaland. You know, and I would have expected these leaders over the weekend, the governor, the senator, the MPs, who are making a lot of noise about Rigathi, to have defended the people of Mandera from the incursions by forces from Jubaland, instead of castigating Rigathi Gachagua. So I wanted to clarify that the allegations we have made against William Ruto, he is not from Mandera, he is not Somali, he is not Muslim. Let nobody drag in the people of Mandera, the people of northeastern Kenya, from our issues with William Ruto. They should leave us alone with William Ruto to have our own war. Yeah.
All right.
Waswahili wanajuana na vilemba.
Okay. You returned last Thursday.
Yes.
Earlier that week, your former party, UDA, and the Kenya Kwanza Alliance, and Raila Odinga's ODM had a joint parliamentary group meeting. And it was during this meeting that President William Ruto accused the houses, both houses of parliament, of corruption. Now, having been a member of the executive yourself as deputy president, do you share the president's views of corruption at the Senate and the National Assembly?
I share his views 100%, but he has no moral authority at all, absolutely none, to talk about corruption in Parliament, because he's the one who has corrupted Parliament day in, day out. William Ruto pays Parliament for anything that he wants to happen. The finance bill, he paid members of Parliament 200,000 shillings. They passed the finance bill. They were in trouble from the public, And when things backfired, he turned around and threw them under the bus. My own impeachment, the one you are trying to take me through again here, although I underwent that impeachment, I didn't think it was necessary for us to go through it, had nothing to do with gross violation of the Constitution. It had nothing to do with issues that were raised there. Gladys Bose-Sholei told William Ruto in a public rally, you told us to get rid of Rigathi, we did. You had it. Members of parliament were paid 500,000. Members of the Senate were paid 10 million shillings each to impeach me by William Ruto. He is the one who has taught parliament to be corrupt. In fact, there's nothing William Ruto does without paying money to people. He cannot now throw these MPs under the bus. And I told these MPs, I remember telling them, this man, I know him, I've been his deputy. He's an expert in use and dump. And the day you lose favor with the public because of following him blindly, he'll abandon you in high noon. What has happened, Vaughan, because I want to tell these members of parliament and put them into perspective. To start with, William Ruto was complaining not about people being bribed with the 10 million. He seemed agitated that the 10 million bribe that was given did not reach the members. That's what appeared to be disturbing him. He didn't have a problem with the corruption per se. He seemed pained that somebody has paid 10 million, and he was asking the members of parliament, did you receive the money? And they were saying, no, we did not receive, which means he was confirming that him and members of parliament have a working relationship, and he was trying to find out whether this bribe reached those people. What has happened, Yvonne, is that William Ruto is in every scandal in this country, and I believe we are going to discuss SHA, we are going to discuss all those issues. And he's in trouble internationally. When I was in America, nobody wants to hear about him. You remember there's an organization that gave him the second position in the world as the second corrupt leader in the world. And he's trying to shift focus from himself and throw it to the members of parliament. He's actually throwing them under the bus to the people of Kenya. He's trying to say there's too much corruption so that people can remove the focus from William Ruto and take it to the members of parliament. That is what he's trying to do. And I told these members of parliament, the minute this guy realizes that you are of no use to him and you are expendable, he'll throw you under the bus. Number two, he said he is going to form a multi-agency to deal with corruption. To start with, that is wrong because we have independent institutions to deal with corruption, EACC and the DPP. William Ruto cannot take over investigations because that is interfering with independent offices and is interfering with the constitutional commissions. But let me tell the members of parliament and senator what is happening. And they'll thank me one day. I know William Ruto like the back of my hand. I stayed with him. This is what is happening. Most of these senators and members of parliament, except from Rift Valley, know that William Ruto is done his one term. And they know if they are in UDA, they will be sent packing. So they have been talking in bars, in social places, saying we are with Ruto to get what we can. Next year, we'll defect. They have been saying we are waiting for the last budget. Once we get our projects, we'll have to align with the people because if we go in UDA, we shall not be elected. William Ruto said he is a consumer of raw intelligence. He monitors all these MPs. You can ask me, I was his deputy. He has a file on each one of them. All this money he was bribing them, he has recordings. Ask me, I was his deputy. There is another senator who went to collect some money from some businessmen from Nakuru. I've even seen the video. You know, he has all these recordings for all these bribes, for all these things the MPs have been doing. William Ruto is a smart man. He knew one day these guys can shortchange him and they can abandon him. So he knows that next year there will be mass exodus. So this multi-agency team he has formed is to collect evidence and create files on all leaders in Kenya. And he'll call them one by one. I hear you want to leave UDA and go to DCP and go to Wiper. This is your file. Try. Next week you are in court. Same for governors, same for everybody. Why would William Ruto want to take over investigations? He said when he formed the government that he'll make sure the National Police Service is independent. He'll give it money. He'll make sure judiciary is independent. He'll make sure the DPP is independent. Today he is saying he wants to form a multi-agency team under the office of the president to deal with corruption. I can tell you, and I want to tell these members of parliament, you will have to stick with William Ruto to the end. You'll go home together, because the minute you try to move and abandon him, like it happened to Moi in the year 2002, he will have a file on all of you. So all those senators who took money during my impeachment, all those MPs who took money during my impeachment, all those MPs who took money for the finance bill, all those MPs who have been taking money from William Ruto and his cronies for various things in parliament, William Ruto has a file on each one of you, and none of you will be able to abandon him. For the money that you took, you have to stick with William Ruto up to the ballot. And you try, and you tell me you have seen already the EACC after William Ruto spoke. That is a script. You can see how good it is. The minute he spoke, the EACC said William Ruto has done that. That's done well. He says we have 4 governors now at the radar. And you see the governors at the radar. Kimani Wamatangi. Because no, he doesn't agree with the Kimani Ichung'wah in Kiambu. So they are using that file to coerce him politically. You know? And what will happen now, this multi-agency team, it has been outlawed by the court, but he still formed it. They are going to create files to enable William Ruto to deal with people like ourselves, who don't agree with him, and to hold all those leaders who are with him, who may want to abandon him and go to another political party.
All right. So you are saying that both houses of parliament are not independent?
No, they are not independent.
Okay.
You saw, Yvonne, let me cut you short. You saw an MP speak in parliament. Said, Mr. President, you told us to pass the finance bill, we passed for you. You told us you want SHA, we were here until 10 p.m. You told us to do this, we were there. All those things, they don't do it on behalf of the people of Kenya. They do it for William Ruto, and he pays them for it. Of course, we must say there are few members of great integrity and who have a moral conscience who have refused to take money from William Ruto. And they are all his enemies. He is harassing them using KRA, he is harassing them using DCI, and I know using this multi-agency team. All those members who refuse to take money from him are going to be on his radar. All right.
Kenya Kwanza stood out for its thirst to control the Houses of Parliament.
Yes.
And I want to speak to you now as the person who held the position of Deputy President at the time. Didn't you, as the executive, and by you I mean yourself at the time as Deputy President, President William Ruto, as the President, and the entire executive, did you not decide who should be Speaker of the National Assembly? Was that not part of the agreement?
No, we did.
It
was in the shareholding agreement.
Okay. Did you decide who should be Speaker of the Senate?
Yes, it was in the shareholding agreement.
Did you decide who should be Majority Leader for both houses?
It was decided after the election.
Did you also decide who should chair each of the committees?
Yes, it was.
In both houses?
It was.
Didn't you also cause members of the party and the alliance at that moment to attend meetings at State House to give them instructions on your agenda, what to vote for, how to vote?
Yes, we did.
And so the grand total of this was what? Control of the legislature by the executive?
It was the intention.
What was the intention?
The intention was to push the government's legislative agenda.
Okay, so this was a push that came from the executive.
Yes.
Are you then now surprised that members of National Assembly and the Senate are speaking the language of the executive when you yourself are a part of the executive making these decisions, where the member of the Speaker of the Senate, the Speaker of the National Assembly, all came from the party that you rode on to power?
I think it was good.
If you are saying today that we don't have independent houses of parliament, aren't you then responsible for that, because this was your doing with President William Ruto?
Yvonne, that's a very good observation. The intention was very noble. When we formed government, we had a manifesto. a great manifesto, bottom-up economic transformation agenda. Creating good business environment, lifting people from the bottom of the pyramid. We wanted a majority in parliament to help us push that agenda. Okay? Where I differed with William Ruto is when we abandoned our agenda, our